Alright, we're back, and we've got things, and I forget that I can I... Oh, I can play this entirely one-handed if I wanted to. Altus
Okay,
Nobilis.
so is this the...
Ah.
Oh, it's the Brown Guild.
Yeah, so this is where we're headed. So the Altus Nobilis, or the Brown Guild, is home to a vast majority of Umbra's historians. Most of them are too obsessed with the past to worry about the present. And this blinding obsession with history has come at a cost. In recent years, they have lost the respect of many in the city, especially because of their reluctance to engage in contemporary affairs.
Halt!
Good morning, Malleus.
You've got company, is that?
Inspectore Cicero Gavar, yes.
I do not think Va Previo would be too pleased to see you bringing a member of the White Spire in here.
I am here under the orders of the Judge Master. I'm certain the Va will allow this.
On your word, Marshal.
So these are the people with the weird raven-looking mantles or something.
It's weird for historians. They've decidedly strange outfits. I'd expect almost the Blue Guild's outfits to fit these guys more. You know, if I was a historian that was mostly interested in the past, I'd probably be wearing the most comfy of robes ever.
I would expect them to be wearing what Amadea is wearing. Plus, they call them the Brown Guild.
You're right.
And it's like, why are they wearing black raven feathers?
Or maybe we're mistaken. We'll see more once we get in. Or the game's totally, frozen on us. This is a new one.
Loading. 100%.
Please wait, mask.
Quite. Yet the mask isn't even spinning. Though the music always tends to play even when things are frozen, I find.
Yeah. I love that about games. Though it is a little bit distracting. Confusing? Oh, so that's maybe a little bit more appropriate.
Tisana?
Hello, Mother.
Mother?
Please sit. Inspectore Gavar, it is surprising to see you here.
I am sorry, but I had not been told that we would be visiting Tiziana's mother.
Does it matter who she is? We need access to the Assemblia, and that is that.
So, that's why you've come. Might I ask what for?
The Misted Isles. We want to see it.
Tiziana, even you understand that
I am here on behalf of the Judge Master. You will take us to see it or have him to answer to.
I can't.
Excuse me?
The Assemblia is occupied.
What in the light is that supposed to mean? Mists. What is happening inside?
The Rediro. They've grown.
Grown?
They're trying to break free.
Prepare yourselves!
Justice will blind you!
Yeah. I've not played this in several days. I've kind of forgotten how to play.
Whoa, what? So she's like, no, you can't go in there, but oh, there are these things that are gonna come out and try killing us.
Yeah.
You would have...
Shades. They're enormous.
Va Previa had gone to the Luca to make a request for assistance. We had hoped to contain them until she returned.
It seems you failed at that.
Isabel, we need to get to the Misted Isles.
I'll get the calendar. Tiziana, guard the door, please, while I determine the course we should take.
Amadea, assist me.
Isabel, you and Tiziana.
She blames me for her father's death.
Zane. From what I know, he died of an illness.
10 years ago, while I was on a ruin raid with the Altus, there was an accident. I fell into a coma for 2 years, during which Zane tirelessly cared for me.
He stretched himself thin.
Too thin. He started falling ill. One night, just a month before I emerged from the depths of the coma, he did not wake to the morning sun. Tiziana thinks that if I had been stronger, if I had been able to protect myself, he would still be alive.
It was an accident.
Born of incompetence.
And she said this to you? That she blames you?
I'm certain she's spoken much about Zane. Is it any wonder that you have never heard of me?
I had thought that perhaps you might have...
Being dead, sometimes it feels like I might as well be to her. Here, the 57th route. I can take us through it.
Isabel, perhaps if you tried speaking to her...
I have. You think it is easy for me to live with the knowledge that my daughter hates me. On the rare occasion that she comes and visits, I reach out, but I always get burned.
But you keep trying.
Can I ever stop? She is my daughter, Cicero. And if words will not convince her, then perhaps action will.
What do you mean?
We should get back to them. Let us go. I know the route to take.
Us? You will only slow us down. Tell me which route it is, I can take them through it.
I am capable of taking care of myself.
You are not!
Marshal!
Stay out of this, Inspectore. Tell us how to get through. You are witness. If she slows us down, do not say I didn't try to stop her.
Marshal, she is your mother.
Does that excuse her from her folly?
Tiziana.
Where is this coming from?
What?
You! Poking your nose where it doesn't belong. What's between me and my mother is between us alone. We have gotten by for years without your help, and we will continue to do so. Now, if we are done...
Yes.
So I was looking at the achievements. We're actually almost done with this game. I think. You never know. Oh, Origins.
What kind of medical assistance could he have provided for her for 2 years to keep her body from just becoming emaciated and nothing?
I don't know.
Like, don't they have to feed people in comas, like, through their stomachs and junk and... Yes,
don't
they
know.
do.
Well, yeah, but like... Yeah, I guess most people that go into comas just die.
I mean...
Like, would have died back in olden times.
Actually, they probably would have just buried them and then, and that's why you find so many coffins with scratch marks on the inside in England.
I think that's different.
No, it's...
Slightly.
No,
Those aren't coma people, though.
No, they...
But she was out for 2 years. That's the point. There's no way she would have woken up inside the coffin. She would have starved to death well before.
Oh, I know, no, I know that. But I'm just saying that there's been evidence that enough people were believed to be dead that they buried them alive, which is why you have, the, like, gravekeepers that were considered the bell ringers. They decided that, you know, they would bury people in a coffin but have it open to, like, the air. Not the coffin itself, but they would have, like, a little hole with a little string tied to their pinky finger.
Yeah.
And they'd just have a guy to listen to bells to see if any of them would ring.
Yep. So, interestingly enough...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, part of the reason why I'm willing to bet that they have medical technology capable of keeping somebody alive during a coma is because they have giant floating libraries.
What is that?
It's a bell station. We use them to call the Ridiro to us. Ever since they've gone berserk, they've been swarming these things.
They're just going to keep coming unless we destroy them.
Isabel,
We do what we need to. I understand.
let's go.
So, can we read about the Ridiro? Because it seems like these people actually use them for some purpose. To fetch books for them? To do what?
I can take a look at it. Did we find a log for it?
Yes,
Okay.
we did.
Then yes.
It was under Fey Ridiro. It's interesting how the bell makes bell sounds when you actually hit it.
I didn't realize we were breaking the the
we were.
Ridiro. See, I thought we were just
the
gonna
bell
be,
is just spinning.
Physics. Alright, so in this case we want to do Codex, Lore, Magic.
It'd be under the Ridiro. Fey?
No, it's not here. Factions, culture. I never remember.
Oh,
here we go.
there's Fey Shadow. Ridiro. The Rediro are among Omber's only tamed fae, confined to the Assemblia, the Altus Nobilis' largest library. The fae have been trained to fetch and replace the books that fill the enormous repository. Without them, the knowledge stored in the upper levels of the Assemblia are practically inaccessible. Typically docile and obedient, their hostile behavior undoubtedly has something to do with the recent developments in the city. So I was right that they were just book fetchers.
Yep, makes sense. Be cool if our libraries had book fairies. Looks like this is a dead end apart from... Well, let's see what the Miscula is.
It's just a name of the period?
It's a historical period. Okay, I'm gonna keep exploring. I don't want to, like, totally
She's like, correction.
It is the other way.
Lore. The Bright War.
Yeah, like, on one hand, I don't want to discount all of the logs. On the other hand, I really would like to actually, like, beat this game and, like, see it through to the end. And, like, I don't know. I know, like, people love logbooks, and I do too. It's just also one of those where it's like, you kind of have to balance what's relevant, what's not, if that makes sense.
It seems like there's quite the sizable number for this particular game. I don't even
progress.
Let's just keep going.
I don't even recall encountering that many in Knights of the Old Republic. Weren't there log files or something?
There were log files, but there were video logs. Like or a lot of them were video logs and stuff. But yeah, we're in a library, so we're just learning stuff. Like
The
Dementica.
The cover read Dementica, lexicon by Divina Vamus for Ateran Vamus. Charming, Cyrus said as he peered over my shoulder. The woman was quite creative with the title, no? Masha gave it to me today. She thought this was an appropriate gift to try to get me to consider joining the Vegelus, I said, pushing the thick book away from me. You didn't even do that well for the Accredita. Exactly what I said. Why does she want you as part of the Vegelus anyway? I looked away and hoped by the ages, Cicero. How long has this been going on? You could hear the smile in his words. He knew. Cyrus always knew. I don't know what you're talking about. She's been flirting with you, hasn't she? I would never have thought, this Masha girl. It's why she wants you to join her. His hearty laughter filled the room, and it took most of my strength to hold myself back from strangling him. I shouldn't ever have brought this up. Be one of the Vegelus, eh? I've heard the Conoscenza's filled with private pockets that no one... You're filthy. He laughed. I must say, though, what a way to court someone. Maybe intellectuals excite her, I'm going to bed. Pity she isn't here to join you, he chuckled. I never picked up the book again. The ancient writings that were found among the ruins and on tablets were, until the second canticle, completely unintelligible. Many had been thought, of course, that the symbols that the Dementicate used and inscribed must have corresponded with the language that they spoke, which had come to be known as Dementica. Without any bridge between writing and meaning, however, the road to deciphering the language remained concealed. All this changed when Ateran Vamus, one of the Valencios of the second canticle, salted. His mind was frayed, though not destroyed, and his wife, Divina Vamus, cared for him tirelessly and devotedly despite his lack of lucidity. It was during one of Ateran's muddled moments that Divina, who had been the head of the Vegelus at the time, realized that something was off about her husband. She'd been doing some research on the language, trying desperately to find some sort of sense within its symbols, when her husband came over and began reading the tablets and piecing together disparate pieces of her research. Initially, she thought that it was simply been a case of nonsense. How could a man whose mind could barely hold itself together make any sense of the language long dead? Divina had no answers then, but postulated that whatever warped her husband's mind must have shaped it in such a way that he could see patterns within the inscriptions in order to make sense of the writings. Subjecting her husband to rigorous tests and further prodding, Divina compiled a lexicon of Dementica, and spent no more of the time questioning her husband's newfound ability. His ramblings, despite what she'd initially thought, proved to be uncannily accurate and consistent. Though it took a long time for her work to gain traction within the academic community, considering her rather unorthodox methods, Davina's lexicon proved itself time and time again to be adequate in assisting with the translations that was eventually adopted as an official guide to the language. That informed the base of her research into Dementica, and since then, much of what has been retrieved from the various ruins has been deciphered, translated, and preserved. Most of these translations reside in the Conoscenza, though there are others in the Assemblia as well.
I actually thought that was going to be like a lore backstory thing, but...
Well, now we know that his brother was relentless in teasing him about girls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor Cicero.
Where's the right way to go?
The other way, Inspector.
Shut up, lady.
Yeah, there's more lore.
There's more lore that we may or may not read.
The Masquerada. Origins. Behind shadowed eyes and blazing fires, the Masquerada grin. With shards of ice and nimble limbs, they hide in moonlight dim. And in the sky and under the earth, the Masquerada dance. If you were daft, you'd spare a look. If you had wit, you'd take no chance. For they are sly, and they are cruel, and they are tricksters too, who'll nick your throat and slit your foot for coin or for a shoe. So remember as you walk down streets at night and so alone, don't look back if you hear a call, and if you do, pray mercy you're shown. The Masquerada, taken from the Valerius Riva's most famous work, Tales Across the Midnight Belt. The concept of the Masquerada had not existed properly until the 4th canticle after Omber beat back the Altamirian invasion. That was the March of the Broken Songs. Before that, there was no distinction between those who owned a masquerine and those who did not. The masquerine was seen simply as a tool, not as the center of an identity. Like how a man was not a fisherman simply because of his ownership of a fishing rod, a man was not anything different from his fellow men just because he had a masquerine, and they did not. All this changed, however, when the March of the Broken Songs brought into attention the power that the masquerine could provide and the difference that it could make. Where once masquerines had been used to convenience everyday life, now they were being used to kill and defend the nation. It was then that owning a masquerine began to distinguish an individual. Where previous society had treated those with masquerines the same as anyone else, now it treated them with greater respect and admiration. Subsequently, the heroes of Omber, wielders of masquerines, were thought of as deserving a name in recognition of their heroic part in defending the nation. It was then that the term Masquerada was formed, and it persisted into modernity. I've never heard that one before.
I've heard it.
Modernity. Though the connotations associated with it are not as clear as they'd once been. In the current world, the Masquerada of Ombre are still regarded highly by foreigners who know Ombre only by name. To them, the Masquerada are the jewels of the Citte della Ombre. They might make up a tiny fraction of its population, but it's common knowledge that the nation's power is found within their hands. To the Contadani, however, they're very people who had, roughly 300 years ago, thought that these masquerine wielders deserve praise and recognition. The Masquerada are selfish, conceited beings who have traded their humanity for power and material wealth. If you had asked me for my opinion on them when I was younger, I would have spat on the ground and cursed them as well, but now, as someone who's been taken into their ranks, one's allegiances are not so clear when the heart and mind play for different sides. No matter what I think or feel about them, however, one thing is clear. Ombre would not be what it is today if not for the Masquerada. What?
I don't know. Logs
just how
make me
long
sleepy.
the logs
Yeah,
are?
they're not pointlessly verbose. I like the what am I thinking? Well, I like how they're done.
I like the story tidbits where you actually hear about his brother.
Yeah, like that's the problem. I don't want to hear history. I want to hear about his past, considering that's one of the more alluded to things in this game.
Laboris Solis, whatever that is.
Nope. I just see how small the scroll bar, and it's just like, no.
Whoa, everything falls away.
That was cool level design. neat thing is they only actually had to do like 4.
Now, my question is, all of this shuffling around wouldn't make sense unless you like got to a doorway and you're like, I want this section of the library rather than another section.
Yeah.
Essentially, these people are lazy and can't walk.
Well.
Okay, well, she can't walk. Sorry. Oh no!
Mother!
I'm fine.
This is why I told you not to follow.
Do not speak to me this way. I am not useless.
Look at your arm, your legs.
What must I do to prove myself to you?
This is pathetic, Mother. You are weak. Face it.
I am not.
You're never going to be able to bring him back. Now mend yourself.
She was right.
I don't want to hear it.
You blame her for your father's death.
We are wasting time,
She made a mistake.
so she should pay for it. That is the Luca way.
That is the coward's way.
How dare you?
You say your father inspired you, then act like it.
What?
Your father loved your mother despite her weakness. He died following his heart, not his duty.
He died because she was weak.
No! He died because he loved her. And you are spurning that because you are weak. You don't have it in you to forgive her, so you run. You hide behind your empty platitudes and hollow justices. But guess what? You can't run forever. We all make mistakes. Hold on to them long enough and just you watch what you become. Trust me. It's revolting.
I don't think I've ever seen you more honest.
You need to learn to let go. It's hard, damn it, I know. But what you're doing to her, to yourself, it's not worth it.
My father was one of the best judges.
Your father was more than the Luca. And you can be too.
If he was still alive, I have a feeling the two of you would have gotten along very well.
Part of him still is.
Perhaps.
Isabel!
Mother!
Oh, great. They better not have her killed by this thing.
her!
No! No! It could just drop her if it wants to.
The Misted Isles. That must be where it's taking her. Cicero, you were with my mother when she found the route.
57.
I know the way. We're almost at the end. Come on!
Oh, you might... What about that other room?
Yeah.
Is there lore?
Yeah, there is.
there's
There
lore.
always is. I just had to see. There's no indication which way is the right way.
Songstresses, their origins. I mean, I would be interested in knowing why they serve some kind of tree monster, but... songs. Yeah, there it is. It looks pretty long.
Like...
They're probably that door.
Nope. Well, sort of. I don't know. Yeah, I like logs. Believe me, I do. It's just... They're so long and they break up gameplay so badly that I can't. Oh, they're making little chirpy noises. That's really cute.
Oh, too bad they're not evil per se, but
The assembly is mechanism. Hey, this is more my length.
size.
I had known the Altus were protective of their caches of knowledge, but this borders on paranoia. The assembly is equipped with a mechanism that utilizes the water that falls from the cascada. Cascada, yeah. To rotate sections of its structure to create an ever-shifting labyrinth to ward off unwanted intruders. The caretaker of the Assemblia is equipped with a calendar that details the single possible route to take that will guide visitors to its core, but the intricacy seems almost needless to me.
Cascada probably just means like
It's the waterfall.
cascade.
Yeah.
A waterfall.
Because we have seen a waterfall in the past.
Masquerine.
That. There we go. How many skill points do I have? None. Okay. That makes this easy.
Cheapy cheapy. Elements of this remind me of
I'm ready.
like Karma Flow. Do you remember some of the mechanical things that we were fighting in that?
Yeah, kinda.
Where is she?
Am
I don't
stuck?
see. I don't.
She's right here.
No, like the mother.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, I see. She's crumpled on the ground.
Yeah.
Your HP bars
Yeah,
and
I know.
stuff were over her.
So we gonna fight the boss. What are we?
Oh no! Elemental attacks.
What are we watching out for? What does that even mean? Oh.
Left, Cicero!
Okay. That's like.
So it likes having pillars to wrap itself onto.
Wow, that horse move actually does some serious damage. It's a shame the NPCs won't use their Q moves on their own. Like, I don't want to have to micromanage my allies to make them use their super moves. Feels weird.
Oh yeah, those are her rock minions.
Yep.
Whoa, lasers!
It's on the other island. The right, Cicero!
Yes, I'm looking at it, but it
I
stuns
wonder
me.
if the person that you take with you aside from Tisana is the one that just gets these lines.
Probably, yeah. I wonder if this is... Okay,
Ooh,
that was
there's
some
those
damage.
are the horses.
Yeah. The horse does work. Okay.
Watch out, Cicero!
For what?
Probably for those water
Those waves?
waves. The waves and the
I like it how the tornadoes and the waves have like totally like gone over the mother like three
Several
or four different
times.
times. And she's just like oh, what?
I think it's over there.
Look out!
That's
Oh, it's back by that one. Okay.
confusing.
The Radiro Queen. Why do they even need a queen?
Dunno. Horses. Those horses do work. Looks like this might be the last pillar.
Yeah. I mean, you already destroyed the other two on the different islands.
Yeah.
I want to see. I mean, you might not be able to see it, but there were murals up against the wall, and one of them had like a tree, and
Mother! Oh, my darling. Thank you.
Are you all right?
I will be.
I've got her, Cicero. You should... By the light. You should look around.
It's beautiful.
Attend to why we came. I'll be here.
ruins, the Misted Isles.
That's a good line.
The Altus Nobilis was a secretive guild which goes into extreme measures to keep their intellectual treasures away from the eyes of the rest of the city. But when the concept of dividing the city into wards emerged, the Altus were the first to claim ownership of a set of ruins that they had come to call the Misted Isles. Found under the gentle falls of the Cascada, the Misted Isles sit at the heart of the Assemblia, the Altus's largest collection of knowledge. What secrets, if any, they've gleaned from these ruins have not been made public knowledge. Many Ombrians secretly suspect, however, that the Altus have found a little value of the Isles, for if they had, they certainly would have used it to bolster their political position in the city.